It's trash day, I'm putting you out, it's trash day. Putting you out, it's trash day. Putting you out of my mind. It's trash day, I'm putting you out, it's trash day. I'm putting you out, trash day. I'm putting you out of my mind. Now I'm gonna clean up, now I'm gonna clean up, now I'm gonna clean up the house. Taking all your garbage, taking all your garbage, taking all your garbage.
Hello, and welcome back to another Can Crushers Wrestling podcast. I am your host and the solo voice of this week's show, Mark the Mark Martinez. Guys, a lot has been going on this week, and we'll get into it. Drink. And as you can hear, that I do not have a co-host this week as Sir Michael Jenks. It is the time. A lot of schedules change around this time of the year, so he's picking up some overtime at work to take care of what he needs to do so he can be on a lot of the future I have no fucking clue why Jenks is not here. I know he's at work, but I don't understand why he needs to be at work, because this is definitely more important than work. So, shout out to Jenks. He will return next week when we get to hear from you guys, because in segment 2, so you guys know that this is going to be a little bit of a shorter show, not recapping this week, and we'll get into everything that's gone on and tell you why. This is going to be a very news-heavy show this week, and in segment 2, we will be releasing the Crushie Award categories and talking about, maybe 10 or 15 of the ones that you guys sent in. And I can tell some of you have really shit on us. So, we'll get there. Drink again. So, I don't know. This week for me, it's been an up and down week, guys. It really has. And that's kind of why I'm doing a news show this week and not a recap show or anything like that. I'm recapping the news and some of my thoughts there. But a lot of wrestling this week for me had been fast forward. And I spent a lot of time soul searching, one, within my own life, and two, what I really like about wrestling. And I'm going to talk about one of my former co-hosts and talk about how life has changed tremendously, and I never thought he would have done this or his family would have done this. And I'm speaking about the English professor, and he canceled the Peacock Network. Yeah, he's always welcome back on the show. He knows this, and he's got a lot going on with football and stuff like that with his son and the kids, yada, yada, yada. But he'll make appearances now and then. But we always talk. We talk probably every day. And we had a lengthy conversation. He canceled the Peacock Network. And I'm almost there. I will never cancel Peacock because The Office is on it, and there's so many other great shows as well. But if it was just for the WWE Network, I'm almost there. If I didn't, and I don't have to bring you guys the pay-per-view results. You can watch them, you can read about them, but I just like watching it to give our thoughts about what's going on. But he said he hasn't watched a pay-per-view in a while, Raw and SmackDown essentially in a year. So that's even when he was on the show, when he was just reading like notes on Raw and SmackDown. It's a different era in wrestling, is what I'm saying. And that's why AEW, every wrestling that's on TV this week, I kind of just fast forwarded through it. I did a lot of internet watching, title match indie stuff, IWTV wrestling watching, just random matches on YouTube this week to see where I am overall in wrestling. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know that. I think I just needed a little reboot on the main brand stuff. So I took this week to throw it out the window. Yes, I read spoilers. I did all that. And like I said, when we get to the news part of it, there are some things I'm going to bring up. But I enjoyed a ton of indie wrestling this week. And the one I want to start on was last night's Mission Pro Wrestling Silver Bells. I'm not going to break down matches or anything, but first and foremost, I'm waving the flag of Title Match Network. God damn it. You know how I talked about it before. Title Match Network. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Well, whatever. Type in Mission Pro Wrestling and you'll find out it's definitely Title Match Network. Where you can watch that. I enjoyed that so much last night. You could see that the talent, it was very Pittsburgh-based heavy, by the way, too, as Nikita Knight was there, Ray Lynn was there, Lady Frost was there, several people that have been on Can Crushers were there, Maddie Rankowski, a list can go on and on and on about the wrestling and the great talent that was on the show, but you saw that they were having a blast. And it came across to the fans, it came across to people, me, because that's the only person I saw watching it on a computer screen or a TV screen, me. It came across as it was refreshing to watch something like that. And yeah, Thunder Rosa came out a couple times and talked because it was a benefit show for Salvation Army. Then she came out and talked about how her son got into wrestling. And it was his first match last night. It was just so homey for me that I was so engulfed into that. Okay? I was just there. So that far and wide takes over everything because I was engulfed into what was going on. I loved it. So if you have the chance, check out anything that Mission Pro is doing. They're going to be back on the end of January again, and hopefully I can reach out and get involved with that, have it be through a sponsorship or something, because Mission Pro is where it's at. It's going to be back in Cornhole, Texas, where Dave LaGreca was speared through a pallet of beer cans, by the way. So if you want to see Dave LaGreca get his ass beat from Busted Open, make sure you get on the Title Match Network and watch the one from last month. You'll be able to watch yesterday's as well. So just watch them. They're great shows. It's amazing. Other networks that I like to talk about, IWTV has a ton, as well as Title Match Network, has a ton of different categories. There's documentaries on there. There's, the blood and guts wrestling of hardcore death matches, so on and so forth like that. Then I went over and watched some IWTV, Camp Leapfrog, one of my favorites that you guys heard me talking about for about 2 years now. I love watching that. I just love the randomness of watching wrestling that I don't get to see live because I'm not in Texas or I'm not in New Jersey or whatever, but that's going to change. It really is. I'm going to make road trips all of 2022 to go to places, have it be by myself or drag any one of my friends, co-hosts, whatever along with me. This is going to change because wrestling is what brings everything back to my life, okay? Also, the internet, YouTube, go on and watch some stuff, and I would be remiss if I don't bring up that I even went back and watched a couple of the reset buttons from the IWC network that you can get for only $9.99 a month. As well, the reset button is coming back around in January, so we'll be going to that. But this is where I was going with this. I had a little bit of a relapse this week, and when I say this week, I mean essentially right after we taped the show on Sunday. Just got down in the dumps, stirred a fight up with the family, and it's not been right since. Personally, I don't know where everything is going. I really don't. But I know I needed to take a break and kind of reset. And there's only been one thing that gets me reset each and every time. I can go without football. I can go without, I've gone without NBA forever. NHL, I only watch during the playoffs. Baseball, it's not baseball season. But there's one thing that gets me smiling each and every day, and it's wrestling. So it's that. That is where my passion is. That is where everything is in life, has been around wrestling. I actually even thought about not doing the podcast this week. One, because Jenks wasn't here. Two, because I really didn't watch a lot of mainstream wrestling. And I thought, well, what the hell am I going to talk about? I thought, well, this is a perfect time. This is the perfect time to tell everybody that you don't have to watch mainstream wrestling and be happy. You can watch whatever you want. You can kind of come to your own terms and just say, hey, this is what I'm going to watch. If, my best friend doesn't like this, but I like it, we still like wrestling. We still can talk about whatever is going on. I am 100% tired of the horribleness of bringing anything down anymore. It's affected my life, and it's affected a lot more. So I'm on my soapbox a little bit today. I really am. What's going to go on with me? I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of other things going on personally in my life, so we'll have to find out. But I'll tell you this, Can Crusher Nation, that I will always be bringing you some sort of wrestling here on the Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. We'll get back to mainstream. We really will. Actually, we're going to get back next week. We have to, because the Crushie Awards are built around that. So we'll be recording that next week, and that will be... Essentially, we'll be on a break, but you guys will not even know that we're on a break because we have everything set up perfectly in line to talk about wrestling from here until the end of the year, the beginning of the year. So, yeah, that's where it is. That's where everything is. Mark taking a break. Yeah, it happens. It happens, but we continue to push. We continue to go. We continue to become even better. Also with some stuff. Mark's on coffee number 3, by the way. We also have some other things in the hopper that, remember way back we did a live call-in show? Yeah, something like that's coming back, okay? We're a couple months out yet because we're ironing out some details and what's going on and everything with somebody else. Yeah, guys, it's not serious, so don't even think about that. That would be fucking awesome, but it's not anything like that. But we will be on a live network. We'll have more entities wrapped around Can Crusher Nation as well. So I'll just leave all those spoilers out there. I guess I didn't put them out there. I'll leave all those spoilers in my back pocket. You guys continue to guess what's going on, I guess, from there. I don't know. Again, rambling. So, what's going on in the week? What is going on in the week? As I said, I watched Mission Pro last night, and then just dove into a lot of independent wrestling. Before we get much farther, I do want to do something I have not done in months. And that's bad on me. Bad on me. Guys, if you love listening to Can Crusher Nation, there's a way that you can support us when you click on the link from our Buzzsprout. There's support the show. You see it on our Facebook post. You can support that. If it's $1, if it's whatever, go ahead. Whatever you want to do, it helps us grow. And don't forget to like, review, share. And I ask that consistently from now on because I guess that's going to show who really supports me. And that's a lot of the things that I've been fighting with myself for the podcast and at home. The support that we get. I see it. I really do see it. So if you always tell me, man, I love your podcast. So why can't you just hit the share button then? Just so, other people know that you like the podcast. It takes a second. That's all. Tell other people about the podcast, like, review. We like those 5-star ratings, stuff like that. It continues to get us out there. If you like it, who says the guy in, Montana wouldn't like us idiots talking about wrestling as well? Places that you can find us: iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Boxcast, Spotify, Apple, Google Play. We have our own website where everything, if you don't want to listen to it on your phone and you really like listening just on your computer, https://cancrushers69.wix site, wixsite.com/cancrushers. It's also linked in all our socials, guys. It's on our Facebook, it's our Instagram, it's on our Twitter, and you'll be able to find it there. We have our store linked to that as well, where you can go and buy some cool-ass merch that, you know, some of you already have, so that's really awesome as well. Thank you. That's a way to support the show, too. Buy a shirt, buy a hoodie, buy leggings, buy a stainless steel coffee mug. There's stickers even on there. Guys, that's going to continue to grow as well, so I want to thank you for all the support of who is supporting us and who is sharing and who is liking and who continues to, for 3+ years now, continue to grow with Can Crushers. I love each and every one of you. So, alright, let's get into some wrestling news here that I want to talk about for the week, because I'm off my soapbox a little bit. First and foremost, not wrestling news, but I'm really kind of pissed off. Kenny Pickett should have won the Heisman last night. He came in third. That bum from Alabama won. Damn it, when can Alabama hit the bottom of the barrel? Let me just say that. When can Alabama hit the bottom of the barrel to let somebody else? Kenny Pickett had a lights-out year. I'm super excited to see them, you know, take on Michigan State in the Peach Bowl. So, all right, wrestling news. So, a lot has happened this week, and I have, 5 or 6 things that I want to talk about. We're going to talk about the number one right off the bat that everybody's been buzzing about. And this is actually, Jenks sent me a message, and he's like, Mark, we have to talk about this no matter what you do on the show. This is kind of the big story of the week. And I said, no shit, Jenks. The Jeff Hardy release. There's been so many contradicting stories out there this week about what's going on, that he was kind of inebriated at the event, that he walked out on the event, that there was some backstage issues, there's some heat on him, this, that, and the other. Guys, there's reputable sources out there online, and there's sources that just will make up anything they want. I was actually working when this came across, and shout out to LaGreca and Bully Ray. They saw it, but they said this is all just a rumor right now, So I jumped on as I was listening to Bust It Open as well, and they didn't confirm it right off the bat until WWE did, and then it was confirmed. You guys know the story by now, how he was in a match and he kind of just walked away and whatever. Everybody knows the demons that Jeff Hardy has had in his life, and everybody has their own in their closets, in their basements, wherever you keep your demons. Everybody has them. If you say you don't, then that's the demon within itself, okay? My thoughts are, if he was given rehab, if they found out that, he was going down the path of, his drug issue again, because that is well stated, and the WWE did say, hey, we're going to send you to rehab one more time, and Jeff says, no, I didn't want to go, and then, WWE says, hey, we're releasing you, then just, you're kind of toxic right now, essentially. Whatever it is, whatever the reason that he was released, I want to say this one thing. It's his wife. His wife came up and said, Jeff is home, Jeff is okay. That is all that you guys should need to report right now. And I second that. I do. Yes, I brought this up, and I am one that, she's talking to. So, as long as he is okay, as long as he's getting that help from his wife, or whatever it is, cool. I want Jeff to be happy and healthy. That should be the number one concern of everybody. Now, there's so many assholes out there. Well, he's been given so many tries, this, that, and the other thing. It's his... Guys, I've never had a drug problem. I've never had an alcohol problem that, I needed to live or I needed to sustain my life or anything like that. But I have other issues. I have major mental health issues, and shit can just come up at any time. If Jeff just wanted to walk away and he just needs to walk away for a while, let him be. Let him go on and find either it's his happiness, his health, whatever he needs. Give him time. Will he come back to WWE? We don't know. We don't know. He was released. He's been brought back. You saw his stuff that happened in TNA when he had that horrible match with Sting, and then he came back there. His brother's already teased about, the Hardy Boys being back together in AEW. Whatever it is, I would like to see Jeff take off, have it be 6 months to a year, whatever it needs to be. Get healthy. If you need to go to rehab, go to rehab. Do what needs to be right in your mind, Jeff. Take care of yourself, because nobody else is. Nobody else is going to take care of yourself. Learning that. You can officially live without other people in your life if you take care of yourself first. And that's what needs to be done. Kind of, beating the bell today that you have to worry about number one. Jeff, I'm there with you. You have to worry about number one. So take care of yourself. And then if wrestling is what you want to get back into, because it's a business that you're on the road, you're away from your family, the temptations are always there. Get back in. But if you don't want to, I will be one of the first to say, thank you for entertaining us. Thank you for crippling yourself. Thank you for mentally draining yourself all these years for us. So, Jeff, take care of yourself. Get well. Stay with your family. Do whatever you need to do to get better. And hopefully, we do see you in AEW in whatever time. Because I'd love to see that. I wouldn't mind one more run of the Hardys. Maybe against FTR. Maybe against the Young Bucks. Maybe against the Lucha Bros. There's so many dream matches, I guess, if you want to call them, for the Hardy Boys and whoever's in AEW that can happen. But you know what? First and foremost is you have to take care of yourself. So, Jeff, I'm thinking about you and well wishes. Second one on the docket that I want to talk about today is Andrade and Charlotte. This has been one that it's been on my list for a couple weeks now, that they're engaged, they're not engaged, they're not following each other on social medias, they're back to being engaged. You know what? I don't care. I bring this up because this has been an email that has been sent over a couple weeks about why aren't you guys talking about Andrade and Charlotte and what's going on. This is personal life things, okay? Okay, Mark, but you just talked about Jeff Hardy's personal life, about how he's having demons and Yes, I know. This is personal life. I guess I'm gonna, I don't know, have a foot on the soapbox, foot off the soapbox today, and I guess that's gonna be the title, Mark's on his soapbox. I'm gonna write that down before I forget it, and say, I guess there's two different lights to, the Jeff Hardy, having, maybe substance problems or whatever problems like that, compared to the sixth grade dating scene that is going on with Charlotte and Andrade. Guys, if they're dating, cool, let them go. If they're engaged, incredible. If they're doing this all as a farce to hide their wedding that's coming up in 2 weeks or whatever, cool. This is a part of wrestling that, we do talk about it. Hey, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins got married in a beach. Yeah, they dug a hole, got married at a beach somewhere down the line, whatever. Yeah, we congratulate them, But what does this have to do with wrestling? Jenks and I bring it up that yes, Ric Flair is a huge fan of Andrade, would be amazing in AEW with him. That's my thoughts. But if Charlotte and Andrade want to break up or play the 6th grade, I'm not dating you this week. You have blue on, so I can't date you. I can't be seen with you because, I'm on Raw. I don't care. Personal life like this, we bring you some of the news saying, hey, this is what's going on in their life. But yeah, I hope they work it out. I hope they still are together. I've also seen stuff on the old interweb that they are still dating, and Andrade just unfollowed her to unfollow her because of what's going on in WWE, and he still doesn't want to be associated. Maybe he's fucking just changing his Twitter handle, and he's unfollowing more people than we know about. Who knows? And again, who cares? That's my thoughts on that. Mark's on his soapbox. Last night as well, guys, ROH Final Battle. And unbelievable that it's called the Final Battle, because as we know, after this pay-per-view, they're going on a hiatus for a while, and so much happened, and I'm not ruining matches or anything, so if you did not watch the pay-per-view and you have the pay-per-view bought and you're going to get ready to watch it, or you're watching it on the Honor Club or anything like that, I'm not ruining it. I'm just going to give you some spoilers a little bit. And I'm ruining it, essentially. But I'm not going to tell you winners and losers of the matches. Go out and watch it. I did have that on and Mission Pro on at the same time. One was on the TV, one was on the computer. My mind was spinning last night with wrestling, that it was unbelievable. So ROH Final Battle. You guys have heard the releases, and Jay Lethal to AEW, but then Jay Lethal's back on ROH last night. There's so much is going on. But with the surprises that popped up and things that happened during a Final Battle last night and the way that it ended, guys, I think we were duped. Are they taking a break? Yes. I think they're completely just rebranding, though. Repackaging. Whatever you want to call it. Because the very last thing is, see you in April 2022. Yeah, that's, 4 months, essentially. Because it's December now. So January, February, March, April. 4 months. And they're coming back. Shit, they had to take off 18 months for the pandemic. What's a 4-month break, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you said. No, I don't know why. That just popped into my head. Because they also left it opened with some of the champions that were crowned last night and some of the surprises that showed up. If they're all one-offs, I'm duped. Good. If we find out in April that something catastrophic happens and ROH does not come back in any shape or form, okay. But Braun Strowman showed up last night, and FTR was there last night, essentially baiting one of the big tag teams to come to AEW. And I bet you they will. I bet you're going to get Impact, AEW. You know how they work together? There's still going to be some working relationships, I think, with the ROH and AEW now. Especially with the tag team champions across the board on both of them. So, plus, again, to end it with, see you in April 2022, an end of an era. I don't remember exactly how it was said. Once one era closes, another one begins, or something like that. Yeah, that's ROH taking a 4-month break. They're coming back. They have to. They don't have to, but they're going to. I'll just tell you that. Running through, I have a couple more notes that I want to talk about. And guys, you saw that Chris Jericho was hospitalized this week, non-COVID or anything like that. He was on his Fozzy tour and he was hospitalized for a couple days. He's now been released. They had to cancel 2 dates over in England, and he's returning to the tour, okay? But he's not allowed to sing for a while. So Jericho came up on, I think, all his social medias at once, and said, guys, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do kind of like a fan fest. They unreleased. Yeah, so they brought their music back. They're like, okay, you can't sing Judas anymore. No, they released new music, and they kind of did like this whole fan fest where Fozzy was sitting on the stage. They answered questions. They had some sing-alongs. They gave away some stuff. Would you guys be all right with that? You buy a huge ticket to go see Fozzy because they're your favorite band. And essentially you just want to sing Judas if you're a wrestling fan. So that's why you buy the Fozzy tickets. And then it turns into, we're going to play music for you. We're going to give you a Q&A. And then we might give you some free stuff or not. Would you be okay with that? Me personally, I'd be fine with it. I really would. I'd be like, yeah, let's do this. I'm there to see Fozzy. I'm there to, and they're like, but you just paid hundreds of dollars to listen to, their music on Spotify through their amplifiers or their speakers or whatever. Yeah, it's the experience anymore. I don't go to football games. Do I want to go to football games? Yeah, it's for the experience. But where do you get the best watching of a football game? At home, right? You go for the experience. It's not that you're going to see everything there or hear everything there. You're going to hear everything at a concert, so you would think. But yeah, I thought it was great because they could have canceled the rest of the tour. They could have canceled the rest of the tour and said, "Hey, mans, all right, hey guys, here's your money back. This, that, and the other. Chris can't sing, so we're just gonna move on. We'll be back next year when Chris is better." So who knows? Who knows? I really like the idea. At least they spun it into a fan fest. Maybe you did get some of your money back or anything. Jericho's doing it right. Medusa comes out this week as well. I told you, quick hitters this week. Medusa comes out this week, and I again, my foot's on one side of the soapbox and one side of the other soapbox. Because she talks about how every era in women's wrestling has helped the next one. And she's not really giving... The way I took this article is she's not really giving the graces of maybe... We say the women's revolution. I say it started with Paige and AJ Lee. Others say it was Trish Stratus and Lita. Some have said the women's revolutions even started way back, Mildred Burke and all the, way back in the days. Medusa says every era has helped the next one get better. And I'll wave that flag because I agree. Because it had to take, the very first one to get on a show. Okay, so they're just sideshows for a little bit, but they're on the show. Then you got to get to the next part, then the next part, the next part. My thoughts are, no matter what, and there's one other point Medusa brings up in this whole thing too, and I agree with her on that one wholeheartedly. No matter what, you need to get on the show. And I do like what Medusa said, that there's hundreds of guys making millions of dollars out there where there's only a handful of women. Right, guys? We need to start this where it's across the board equal. And this all came up. I read this actually this morning after I watched the Mission Pro Wrestling pay-per-view last night, which is, guys, if you don't know, it's an all-women's wrestling event. There are some guys sprinkled on it, but essentially Thunder Rosa has brought it out. It's an all-women's, ran by all-women wrestling event, okay? Organization, so on and so forth. That has done strides for women, I think. And what Medusa's saying is we need more of that. We need to continue to push the go forward. And the Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks match at WrestleMania, that needs to happen more often, that they're the headline. The Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch match, that has to happen more often. It can't be, a one-off, twice a year or something like that. They have to be showcased. And if you heard me on all the spotlights when I have, any wrestler on, and if you want to say, well, Mark, you say it a lot during the females. I do say it a lot during the females because I want them to know that I feel during the whole pandemic run, the female wrestling, and we should just call it wrestling, they carried the bar for us. The Sashas, the Baileys, that Asuka run, when they had everything going on, that was what was keeping me entertained during the pandemic. The women just have me. It's fresher. They're doing things. They're doing some old stuff, some dusty stuff. They're doing some new stuff. It just remains fresh. And there's so many names out there. So that's where I am with that. But Medusa also said that you get all these returns as well. You bring back a 75-year-old Ric Flair to do a spot. You bring back Goldberg. You bring back this one. You bring back that one. How often do you see Trish brought back? How often do you see Lita brought back? Once, maybe twice a year, you get that. Where if you're on WWE, there's a part-timer there essentially all the time. Not the same part-timer, but a part-timer there. And in the men's side of the things, I agree. I agree that there's more legends out there that can be brought back for the women. It needs to happen. It needs to, if we're going to have these special, old school shows or something like that, they need to be brought back a little bit more. They do. We need to pay the respect to them. We need to wave that flag and get them on the same level as the men. So, Medusa, you're right 100% there. All right, last thing I want to talk about before we get into taking our break and coming back and telling you, you guys buried me on some of these categories for the Crushie Awards this year. And I want you guys to call in and leave the messages, but we'll get there. I gave NXT a shot last week, and I said this has all kind of been rebranded back to Mark, giving everything a shot again. War Games. I liked it. I did. Some of it was very predictable. Okay, it was very predictable as what was going to happen. Some of it caught me off guard. But what I'm talking about now as the product itself, okay? And we'll talk about Gargano and O'Reilly here at the tail end of this little thought. But the product itself, I like what they're doing with it. It's been the first time in a while since I watched NXT 2.0, okay? I like what they're doing with it because, to me, it breaks up that it's still WWE, but it really is WWE's developmental brand now. It gives me that indie feel a little bit more. That NXT Black and Gold was definitely, at one point, it was the number one brand in WWE. Throttled Raw and SmackDown. My thoughts why they did this is because Raw has been their flagship show forever. SmackDown is their most watched show now, okay? They needed to get the focus off of NXT because when they were brought up, people wanted, Andrade to be the same person or Bray Wyatt to be, we always bitch about when people are brought up how Vince changes their plans a little bit. And this is definitely their developmental plan now. Are we going to see more, air quotes, indie style stuff? Yeah, we are. And that's all right. That is okay. I like it. I'll just leave it at that, is I like it for what they're going to use it as now. Are we going to dive into it, doing deep dives week in and week out? I think we can glaze over that a lot and just touch on some of the hot stories that's going on in NXT 2.0. But it gives the showcase as like an OVW. When OVW was the developmental plan for brand, not plan, Mark, you're an idiot today. When it was their brand, they were on TV in Kentucky. They're still on TV in Kentucky. It's just a different era, as you say, that it is out there now. WWE would be stupid if they wouldn't have this on TV to not elevate their youngsters or get, something going on. Because if it was on, no disrespect, a pay-per-view, like an IWC, like a Mission Pro Wrestling or something, unless you're there week in and week out, I don't know if you're going to pay $9.99 for that to be a weekly show. But you're going to put it on USA, and you're going to give it to me free, and you're going to let me see the bumps and bruises of, all these new kids, Steiner's kid, the Cora girl, all getting their kind of ring rust off and getting their feet underneath them and showing how they're going to develop them. It's okay. I'm all right with that. Am I going to have to watch 2 hours of it every Tuesday night? No, I won't. Because there's times I don't watch, Imagine Wrestling close to our hometown, or IWC that I might have to miss a pay-per-view, or hey, I can't watch the Mission Pro, or I can't watch this, I can't watch that. But I can get the highlights real quick and understand what the hell's going on. So this is perfect, I think, for WWE. Vince's mind is a little bit scattered on where he's going to take some of this and whatever, but that's a talk that we can have when I have people to throw it back and forth with. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on everything that I did during this show. Let me know, send us an email at cancrusher69@gmail.com. Get on the social medias once you listen to this and then share it. Underneath that comment, Mark, you're way off, you're an idiot, about anything that I talked about this week on the show. All right, now we're going to talk about Gargano and O'Reilly. Both of them were on Tuesday night. They both kind of said their goodbyes because their contracts are up. They weren't released, as some people were saying. Their contracts were up. So essentially, they can go wherever they want. Johnny Gargano's already has stuff on Pro Wrestling Tees. Some people are saying that once Candice has the baby, he may go back to WWE. He may. It's his prerogative. Him and Bobby Brown, they can do whatever they want. I don't see O'Reilly going back because, as you saw at the end of War Games, he kind of did the Undisputed Era thing. I don't know if that put him in good graces or not. I'm sure Vince fucking went off about that. But O'Reilly, I really see going to AEW. I do. And Gargano, no disrespect. If he wants to go back, he can. But there's people clamoring for him to show up at indie shows back in Cleveland. And he's got a family now. Like, maybe he wants to spend some more time just in the Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Cincy area to do indie shows. Maybe he wants to do, one-offs in Impact or NWA or AE Dubs, anywhere. This guy is great. He's fucking Johnny Wrestling. Let him go where he wants to go. If he wants to sign maybe a part-time deal to go back to WWE after Candice has the baby, cool. That's fine. But they're not done with wrestling. Neither one of them are done with wrestling. So they'll be back, and they're going to be able to do what they want. My hope is they do not go back to the WWE brand whatsoever, and partner up with somebody else. Both would be amazing in my book in AEW. But again, another discussion, another day. All right, guys. That's kind of the news that I wanted to talk about this week for the show. When I come back, we are going to break down the categories for the Crushie Awards, which essentially will be in 2 weeks. So you guys have 2 weeks to get your winners in. You can call 814-299-6687 to give us your thoughts on all the awards. I'd like to play some of them on air, so make sure if you want to remain anonymous, cool, but I don't think this is an anonymous one. I think this is where you say, hey, this is Steve from Clearfield, these are my picks, or this is Bob from Louisiana, or wherever the hell you're calling from. Let me know who you are, because we'd like to play when we give the categories of what the Crushie Awards are. We want to hear your picks, and then Jenks and I will give you our picks and our thoughts about what's going on in our Crushie Awards as well. It's an open-ended Crushie Awards this year. Guys, You know about Collar and Elbow. Hats, hoodies, tees, eye patches, sweet-ass shirts. They just released some new shirts. Head over to Collar and Elbow Wrestling.com. You may, if you order soon, you may get it in by Christmas. They're getting backlogged. I do know that. They're getting backlogged. So hurry up, get your shit in, and you might get some stuff in by Christmas. And you can use our promo code. It's called Can Crushers. No, it is Can Crushers. It's not called anything. It's a fucking promo code, Mark. Can Crushers. All one word. Capital C in Can, capital C in Crushers. You'll get 10% off when you use that promo code. Here comes Al Snow, and when we come back, we'll talk about the Crushie Awards, the categories that we picked, and some of them that you threw Can Crushers underneath the bus for. Thanks, guys.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
Hey everybody, this is Gilbert, WWF's longest reigning light heavyweight champion. And you're listening to Can Crushers Podcast, the best guys there are out there.
And welcome back! I can't even do it like Jenks does, so I'm not gonna. He does it, and welcome back to Can Crushers, guys! No, Jenks is off this week. I'm riding solo. I'm on my soapbox this week. So that's all right, guys. Go over and give the 40-year Dash a listen, as they're doing great things on their networks across the board as well. Listen to three idiots that love to try to do things in life, and two of the three usually get them done, and the other guy is just there for the get going as well. Martinez Lounge on a little bit of a break for right now, kind of dealing with some stuff at home. So we'll be back here in the near future for the Martinez Lounge. But all right, the categories that you guys, and I picked it up a little bit, as you can tell. I had a little sip of coffee. I'm gonna have one more right now. I'm gonna read you guys about, I don't know, 10, 15 categories that I didn't pick. Okay, because I want to keep this not to a 5-hour show. So here's some that I didn't pick for the year. Okay. Favorite co-host of the year. Mark needs a break. By the way, these were sent in by you guys, because we've had some that were already, the Wrestler of the Year, Tag Team. Yes, we're doing all of those, okay? I asked you over the last couple weeks to send some in. And, yeah. Favorite co-host of the year, ... Mark needs a break. Thanks. I have never missed one Can Crusher show. Never. Essentially because I'm the one that records it and everything. So if we're on a break, it's normally because I'm not here. Or it's Christmas or something like that. So, favorite co-host of the year, yeah, thanks. That's a slap in my face as well. So, no, we're not doing that one. Indie organization of the year. I love this one. I do. But I can't give props to every indie organization because I don't know them all. I don't get to watch them all. Around here, we get Revenge. We get Imagine, we get IWC, go to OVW, go to Future Great Wrestling. I have a handful or more of indie ones that I go to, but how can I not say something that's in, again, in Idaho? Maybe they're doing things that are blowing me out of the water. Mission Pro is great. Come on. I can't do Indie Organization of the Year because I would do no justice. Okay? So, cool. All right? And these ones are all, legit ones that I thought about putting on the list, but I couldn't. Live event attended of the year. Okay, that's across the board as well. What if I attended it and, Jenks didn't? Or if John or Soup come back on the show, we normally go together, but, you understand that they could have gone to an event that I didn't. So, yeah, scratch that one. Video game of the year, since you guys talk so much about fucking video games anymore. Wait, whoa, pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. We talk about NCAA football, or Jenks is now moving teams in NBA 2K. Oh, and I talk about baseball. And I talked about Hunter Call of the Wild as well. All right, but it's a wrestling show. I understand this one. I do. And my video game of the year would definitely be different. I wouldn't give praises to some of the good ones. I guess Call of Duty's got great games. I don't know. So, yeah, it would be baseball for me anyway, guys. Or Call of the Wild. I just got the new, by the way, I did just get the new expansion pack. You're in Mississippi now, and you get to shoot alligators. The downfall is, I've killed the gray wolf and the deer and the bear and the raccoons and the quail there and everything. I get so nervous when I'm trying to shoot an alligator there. Like, when you're in Africa and you go after the lions, you can see them and you hear them coming or anything. The alligators, every time you're around the swamp that they're at, I essentially get my anxiety just starts going off the wall because they're in the water and they move so damn fast that I don't know. I know it's a video game and I know I can reset it once I'm eaten by them and anything like that. But I get scared. I'm literally scared that I'm going to get eaten by an alligator before I ever get to kill one. I've shot at a couple, but they're so damn quick that they go under the water. And I can never see them when they're on land. So, yeah. So, there you go. Manager of the year. Has there been good managers? Come on. We have Matt Bish, the local manager around here. Or we have the dime piece who has just been turned on by Money Shot. There you go. There's your co-managers of the year. Matt Bish took most of the year off. So, essentially, the manager of the year goes to Julia Lynn once again. So, there you go. That, boom, wins. Jenks brought up this one. And again, I was thinking about it, Jenks. I was. Commentators of the year. Mine would go to Tony Schiavone. All right. These are all not on the list, by the way, folks. And these are all good ones. All right. Commentators of the year. Yeah, I'll tell you, I loved Sam Letourneau and Denise last night on Mission Pro. I like Joe Galley on NWA. So this is one, it got lost in the shuffle because we have 15 real Crushie Award categories. So, again, if you want to give an honorable mention, when we do these ones and we ask you guys to send them in, do it. But we won't be voting on it. Best referee of the year. Holy moly. I have a ton of them. I love Jared Fritz. I hate Daniel Spencer. I'm going to have a referee coming on again on a Spotlight coming up real soon. CJ Sensation, Bobby Williams, Joe Mandak, who is going to be stepping away. The ROH and IWC official who's going to be stepping away from wrestling. He says he's retiring. I say it's going to be, a little bit of hiatus, and he'll be back as well. So, we could do announcer of the year. You have Nick Lendl. You have, come on, you have all of these guys. So that didn't make the list. All right, these next 6, I hear you guys. I hear you, and you're all sons of bitches. All right, and I just compiled these because I got about 30 emails, and some of them are ridiculous, and I'm not even going to bring them up because some of you guys are pigs. You're absolutely pigs, and we don't do stuff like that on Can Crushers, but there's some of you that continue to send in just erroneous, whatever the hell that word is, stuff, and we don't do that. Stop. Keep your pecker in your pants. All right. Mark's favorite family member of the year. And I thought about this, and I'm like, wow, that's a great one. That's awesome. I love that one. And I didn't know if they meant like family member that's been on the show or something like that. But I don't know. But we're not going to do Mark's favorite family member of the year because I have a lot of cousins in wrestling, and I don't want to piss any of them off. So we're not doing that one. Favorite podcast that you guys promote every week on Can Crushers? Well, we promote a lot of them. That's what podcasting is. I listen to podcasts all the time anymore. There's few and far between times that I'm listening to music. Have it be Green with Envy with Chelsea Green, the 40-Year Dash, the Martinez Lounge, Ringside Podcast when they come back around, Dudes at Ringside, the Eccentric Podcast. We listen to these. Jericho, Stone Cold, JR. Yeah, again, there's too many. Nope. So scratch that off. Or maybe it was us being goated saying which one of the other podcasts that me and Jenks are on that would win the award. Favorite name botch by Can Crushers of the year? I hear you. Apparently, I'm going to throw Jenks under the bus for this one. It would be Brian Danielson or Daniel Bryan or Brian or Daniel Danielson. Yeah, I get it, guys. Cool. You guys are getting to us. All right. Favorite tattoo Mark got this year? Okay, yeah. I'm getting a sleeve done, you jackasses. Yes, they are wrestling logos. Okay, yeah. Favorite tattoo of the year? My whole arm would be my winner. Because essentially it's a sleeve. It's all one tattoo. Whose dog is the loudest award? Think about that. I have 2. Jenks has 1. And if I wouldn't calm mine down beforehand, I would say mine win. But thank you. Thank you. And favorite drinking game quote for Can Crushers. Yep, it came out. Yeah, I understand. I think we've become a drinking game because more on that. No, see, that was, I duped you into that one. More on that later. Yeah. All right. But those are great ones, guys. Thank you. I enjoyed the little bit of backhanded humor, this, that, and the other. But here are your 2021 Crushie Award categories. And this is when I want you guys to continue to email us your winners. We'll read them on air, and we'll give you our thoughts on them. Call in. I'd love to throw you guys in on the show. When you call in to our phone number, 814-299-6687, it's going to be a voicemail. Leave your voicemail. Write down these awards. Write down these categories. Call in, and if you want to do some of them, cool. If you want to do all of them, that would be awesome. And if you want to bring in any of those other jackass ones that you guys have sent in, like Mark's favorite tattoo, that would be great. That would be great. But these are the 15 that I want you guys to focus on. There's 15 of them that I want you to focus on this year. Here we go. Wrestler of the Year. Female Wrestler of the Year. Tag Team of the Year. Match of the Year. We're one match of the year. We're bringing it down. It's not Tag Team Match of the Year. It's one match of the year. Pay-per-view of the year. Most overrated, most underrated, useless storyline of the year, mind-boggling release of the year, oh my god moment of the year, the feel-good moment of the year, best entrance of the year, best attire of the year. And this one was actually sent in by a fan, so I definitely put it on. A couple of these were sent in by fans. I'll put it like this one. But I didn't even think of this one. So I want to give a shout out to Mel. Mel, you know who you are. You said don't use the last name if I would use this at all. So Mel, you know who you are. And I didn't even think of this one. But we should. This should be one on the list every year. Can Crushers Interview of the Year. So essentially, Mel said we should vote on every spotlight show that Mark has had, or whoever was on the show with him, and vote what was the best interview that we had of the year. So starting back in January until probably this week would be the last one that you can get in that would be considered the year. So January until whatever the hell this week is would be the Can Crusher Spotlight interview of the year. I like that one. And then number 15 is our bold predictions for 2022. So that's the Crushie Awards that we're going to do for the year. Yeah. All right. I was on my soapbox enough today. So I want to thank you guys again. The Crushie Awards will be in 2 weeks. So you have 2 weeks to sit down, get your shit together, and figure out when, where, how you're going to send them in to us. You could either send them in via email, cancrusher69@gmail.com, or call them in because we'd love to play them on air. 814-299-6687. Leave that voicemail. Take as long as you need because it's a voicemail. It's not going to cut you off. You don't have to rush. Leave your name. Let us know who you are and run down that list. And if you want to make any other weird ones like the PWI used to do back in the day, I still think they do it in their magazines, but I don't get a magazine anymore. Go ahead. Leave us some of those bold predictions as well. Guys, I hope you have a great week. I hope you guys take the time you need to regroup, rebrand yourself, get back on to mental health and happiness as I have kind of been doing over this last week, and hopefully Jeff Hardy is as well. So, you know I love you. You know where you can listen to us on all the great apps and Spotify and iHeart and our own website and stuff like that. Guys, continue to support us. Like, share. Don't forget to leave us those reviews. I'm begging you. Just leave us a review about how you love Can Crushers. You love Can Crushers. Gilbert loves us, right? You heard us bring him back. You heard him bring us back. Do it. It's wrestling, guys. It's entertainment. We all are in the same community. Love, love, love it. Support indie wrestling. Support it because that is where the stars are. Guys, remember, just because you're trash, it doesn't mean you can't do great things. It's called a garbage can, not a garbage cannot.